Hello, my name's Soy Lee, and I'm going to talk about one of the issues in the book Nickel and Dime, written in 1996, have changed since the time of writing the book, and if so, how they've changed. So I'm going to discuss four different factors that could decide um, whether or not the issues faced in this book have changed. And of course, the issues faced in this book um, relate to poverty and getting by in America. Okay, so the four factors that I'm going to use are the poverty rate, minimum wage, the consumer price index, and affordable housing availability. So, starting with poverty, we can look at 1996 versus today in 2019. So, currently, 46 million people live in poverty in the United States. This number has increased 38% over the last 13 years, which is the highest rate in almost 60 years. Um, yeah, so it's very serious. Poverty is a very serious issue currently. In 1996, 13.7 of the American population was below the poverty line. So this shows that currently the poverty rate is more serious now than it was in 1996, although it was very serious in 1996. Currently, it is a worse state. Okay, moving on, we have minimum wage. And from 1991 to 1996, the minimum wage in the US was $4.25. And from October 1st onward in 1996 to 1997, it was $4.75. So obviously, this is going to be less than in 2019, which could impact the state of living for people. It would make it more difficult for people to get by in America with a minimum wage job or with a job close to minimum wage. Currently, from 2009 to now, the minimum wage is $7.25, which is a roughly 70% increase from the $4.25 from 1991 to 1996, and roughly 52% of an increase from the 1996 to 1997's $4.75. Okay, so moving on, we have the Consumer Price Index, then versus now. So the Consumer Price Index is a measure that examines the weighted average of prices of a basket of consumer goods and services, such as transportation, food, and medical care. Obviously, we saw the issue with medical care in Nickel and Dime with Erin Reich's rash medicine. She could not afford it after a while. Um, it is calculated by taking price changes from each item in a predetermined basket of goods and averaging them. So a higher CPI would be higher price of goods and vice versa with lower CPI. So since 1996 and even before that, there's been a steady increase in CPI, so steady increase in price of goods with actually a 60% increase roughly for the price of goods. Finally, we look at affordable housing availability. So in 2019, millions of Americans are struggling to afford a place to live. In order to afford a modest two-bedroom apartment in the U.S., renters need to earn a wage of $20.30 per hour. And in 6 states and the District of Columbia, they need to earn more than $25 per hour. So it's clear that there is an affordable housing crisis. Communities across the country are facing low-income housing shortages, and there is not a single county in the United States that can fill all of its low-income population's need for safe and affordable housing. Obviously, that shows in 2019 that the state is worse than in 1996, and it is very clear that the issues faced in Nickel and Dime have not bettered, if not worsened.